What's up? We are live, and we are playing the one and only Alexander Bortnick in the first round of Tail Tuesday. Let's play a Von Poppul Gambit. Still configuring the stream. Okay. We went with the knight takes line. Gambit glasses. Okay. We surprised him. We've surprised him for sure, and he's not bringing the bishop out yet, which is a little frustrating. I think what we're going to play here is with f3. Maybe queen takes f3. My mouse is moving a little wildly here. Let's decrease the pointer speed. Plays with the immediate bishop f5. g4, bishop back. Let's play like that. Maybe bring this knight to f4. What do we think? I think that's an interesting idea. f3, knight f4. I think a more chill approach would have been bishop g2, takes, and then just recapturing. But he's done a good job parrying the things I've wanted to do most in the position. Okay, he takes it. Is he looking for c2? It's possible. Queen f3, bishop c2. I mean, I feel like I should give that pawn, though. His point is queen d5. His point is queen d5. Okay, I needed my knight here. This was an interesting move, actually. So bishop e4 threatens f2 check, actually. Which is kind of annoying. That is kind of annoying. Maybe just rook g1. Yeah, the way he timed a delayed bishop f5, I would have liked to play bishop f5 with my pawn still on f2. g4 or g1 needs to be played. I need to get this pawn. Still haven't gotten it. I just want bishop d3 to recapture. How bad is queen h4? I'm gonna assume maybe not so bad. Well, bishop f2 takes h2. Bishop g3, queen h4, bishop f2, takes h2. I'm sure it's fine. If I take back here, bishop f2, and queen f3, but what if queen h4 immediately, which is very ambitious? Would probably just play queen d2 in that position. Could go hunting for another pawn. I actually do think it's playable. I do. No, I mean, he's definitely winning here. He It's done a really great job against my threats. Checkmate moves. Goes for it immediately. Wants the pawn. Do I take and take? Or should I go here? I think this keeps it the most complex, but there is just bishop d6. Bishop d6 and h5. This is interesting. Trying to go rook h1. I don't think I could play it though. Bishop e2. I'm down a lot of pawns. We'll try something. Here, bishop g3, that would be nice. Ooh, that's probably not what he wanted to do, but maybe what he had to do. This was an interesting move. Okay, he's giving a7 like this. I guess, yeah, that was probably the best that he could do there. Because he traded powerful dark square bishop. Let me drop my mouse pointer speed again. No, there. Okay, wow, we're up on the clock. That wasn't smart. Okay, no worries. Figure something out here. How many pawns are we down? Only 2. Nice. I'd like to get there. Oh, I missed queen takes f4. Jeez. Jeez Louise. It's not like I have that move. They could take on d2 with check. Well, damn. Well played. Yeah, well played. Oh well. Alexander Bortnik, not a bad chess player. Oh, my main camera is off right now. Here. Sorry. There you go. Is game review not working? Oh, let me also fix up the other stream here. What's this? Oh, that's the... Here, let me get you the clocks. Now, should be better. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it won't let me go to game review. Ah. Damn, that was a good That was a good opportunity there, though. Fortunately, not this time. Let me open up the Twitch chat. What's up, Hainsey? Chess Riddle, Kazing. There's some background noise in my Twitch stream. Does anyone else hear that? Because I don't hear that in real life. But let me know. Drop the desktop audio. Alright. 94 to 84 accuracies. Well, I lost some for playing the Von Popeil Gambit. He does everything correct. I mean, c6 is a really good, strong, practical move because it parries the threats I'm trying to make here and with d5 and keeps this bishop flexible to develop here while not developing it immediately, right? He can't develop it immediately, and he also can't jam it in to take that away for the future because I'm going to play g4 right now. But anyway, he does it well. All right, next game. Von Popeil... What? No, that was last game. Bush Gas Gambit in next round of Tail Tuesday against WFM Elena Volkova. Bishop d3. What is this? So what happens if I take f5 and try to go e4? Or like knight f6 and try to go e4? Which one's better? Bishop d3 is extremely odd. Take f5. Or take knight f6. Or f5 right now. Just try to put a pawn on e4. Maybe this move. Are you... I guess you have queen a4 check, right? Take. Knight takes, you have queen a4 check. In that position, though, I play an ac6. You take my knight. Play f5. Then I play e4, and I'm certainly better there, but can I play for even more? Can I play for even more? D4. Alright, we'll try it. So bishop takes. Alright, castles right now is fine. Bishop c2, e4. H5. Probably okay. Let's make that trade. So check. I guess this becomes annoying, right? Maybe I underestimated that resource. I guess we want this move and f5. Wanted b5 and to hit this pawn, but I can throw this in. Just let me mute that. I think rook e1 there or d4 immediately might have been annoying. I'm not sure I played this the best in the opening, honestly. I had a lot of good ideas. I'm not sure that I chose one. Okay, I want to go here in e4. Bishop e6, this was the point of me putting the queen on e7. I mean, honestly playable. Or just bishop e6. Then where are you going with this knight? Just away, right? Okay. Oh, queen e2. This pawn. e5, bishop c4. Check g6. Take. Check g6. Take. Queen f7. Rook e1. Yeah, wait, that's not ending well. Take. Bishop c4. Take, bishop c4. Ugh, do I have to play like that? Alright, let's just castle. d4, bishop c4, right? Can I win something? Alright, wait, wow, we are way down on the clock. That's crazy. Alright, I'm threatening this. Otherwise, d3. This is still a good move. Let's just go here. Bishop c4, trade. g5, this is what I should have done. Okay, but let's just move the queen out the way. To prepare for, stuff. Queen takes would have been better, yeah. Just terrible with the time, this game, everything. Sucks, actually. Yeah. Wow. Really poorly played game on my part. I mean, really, really bad. That was one of the worst games I've played. I was trying to force it here. I mean, everything was fine and kind of equivalent. This was fine. I just should have gone bishop d6 like normal, without the immediate f5. This made it kind of complicated. But this was minus 1.4 here if I just be normal. Bishop e6 made e5 difficult to protect. Alright, so here, now after queen e2, now I was like having to deal with this pawn, but I was still minus 1 here. Jeez. But I just didn't have a lot of time. Very good position, extremely good compensation, but down 3 minutes on the clock, which is kind of the problem. Much better here was f4. Much better, keeping the bishop out of g5. And now with f4, now you've got stuff. And you got files. This would have been nice. No, it was actually well played. It was just really slowly played, I think was the problem. My opponent did well here, too. Played well in the technical stage of the game once they were winning. Don't forget to check out the anti-Philidor Gambits. Will do. This was just so stupid, and I spent so much time on this. It's like, how can I win immediately? But everything, this was all fine. This is all correct. F5. Just go here. Yeah, I mean, I'm just way too slow. Because this is actually a really, really fun position to play. If I have, like, a little bit more time, and I just kind of been playing whatever to this point. Like, this is actually really, really nice for black. Hard to say what white is doing. It's just super easy. Like, just go for it here. Got the files, everything. Even after I gave the pawn. Yeah. This wasn't even necessary. Here, g5. Because it stops d4, right? Bishop c4 if you're not trading queens. So, okay, d3 here. Still, right, no bishop g5 because of this. I guess that's the point. That's not that obvious. This is more obvious. Okay. What flag is that? Sri Lanka. I'm not sure I've played a Sri Lankan in Title Tuesday. What a name, too. Alright, good luck. Next round of Title Tuesday here. This is interesting. I know this with d4 or d3. I want to say d4. There's this funny line I've seen with, yeah, here, and now if you play g5, I can take it. Oh! Wait, that's actually so nice. That's actually so nice. Take. The point isn't to take c7, but rather to take h5. And you sacrifice all this, but with a fork. You sacrifice all this, but with a fork. And then once we recapture here, we're actually up a pawn. We're up a pawn with a better position. Yeah. It looks like with g5, they can play this kind of King's Gambit-y and hang on to their pawn. It looks like maybe, oh, that's a resource. Or just next turn they're playing c6. But there is that nice little trick. Take there. Take here. Sacrifice the pawn, sacrifice the knight, sacrifice the queen. Wait. Oh, okay, yeah, I counted right. Yeah, we're good. We're up a pawn. Okay, I just had this sinking feeling I counted really wrong. Alright, we're up a pawn and with a better position, I do think. Well, I'm up a pawn once I grab this. Black has what I call anti-compensation. It's when you're down a pawn and have a worse position. Yeah, but they just didn't know that little opening trick. Alright, everything they're doing here is very reasonable. Check and knight f6. Oh. Yeah. Bing, bing, boom. Well, actually, wait. If my knight lands on g4, and then rook e4, and then bishop e2, we're fine. Should I throw in this check? Does it matter? No. It does not matter. Bomb Dog, thank you for the sub. Kazing, thank you for the cheer. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. we can make my face bigger. Casing resubbed Prime. I really appreciate it. Alright. That's a good strategy. If you can't defend both, just defend neither. I can only take one. Which should I take? Well, if I take here, rook e4, and then here, right, we have pressure. I go knight e3, but then I feel like I'm also kind of, well, I mean, I have king f2 here, so that's probably fine. Do I really want to do that, though? Bishop h6, king f2, rook e8, knight c2. I think we've got everything covered. I feel like this is the simpler way to go, but that's not really how I play. Alright, knight e3, and we bring our king to f2. I think they'll have like a knight d4 sacrifice at some moment, though. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. I go back to e2. Maybe to towards d3, right? I mean, not that anything is actually wrong with this move. Nothing is actually wrong with it. Let's just go king e2, though. This is a much more solid choice. No, let's go here. Because my next move is knight c2. So I cover every square. There's no invasion on e1. Let's say rook e8 here. Or rook e4. I'm going to play knight c2. Rook e8. Let's say knight d5. Rook e1. Take. Alright, so here we need to make sure we cover against rook e1 next turn. Which we do. We keep everything solid. Actually, every single one of these squares in my camp is defended. Now we are able to drive them away. Not that it was so pleasant putting the king there and like moving backwards, but let's just provoke a little f6. But we held it all together really nicely. Let's go bishop on h4 even. Knight doing a great job, actually. It's nice to have every square covered. The bishop and the knight together cover everything. And then this pawn chain. Parried the knight, parried the bishop. We have nothing to worry about here. Clean piece. This pawn is a pawn. Certainly is a pawn. Are you running out of squares? No, you have d5. Maybe we make you useful. Now bishop c4 could run the rook out of squares. Knight g6, I'll probably play bishop g3. And bring this knight to f5. It had done its job on c2. Holding it in time for when I could get my pieces out and actually take the e-file for myself. And my opponent tried to make some pressure, but we just had to keep it together a little bit. Bishop h8. Never really a fun move to play. Trades are fine, even though my knight is better. Okay. Like I said, trades are fine. Not the best. Bishop c4 last turn was possible. But so are knight tactics now with this hanging. So let's say knight d6. h4, bishop g... h4? What's happening there? Maybe I should just not lose my bishop. Let's just do that. I can win that pawn too. I mean, h4 wasn't actually anything to calculate. The rook was hanging. It wasn't intuitive to me why I had to deal with that. Okay, bishop c4, rook h7. Alright, let's go check. Provoke a c6. Now we come back to e2. Or just grab it on d6 here. Alright, so you can grab... well, let's just go here. You can take here... I was going to go e8 at the end of that. Maybe bishop e2 now. There we go. Okay. You can do it. It's okay. We'll be all right. I almost went there to b3. He's trying to like triangulate a stalemate, but I was never gonna let one be possible. GG. Okay, good game there. I think we actually played well for a change. It was 90 to 85 accuracy. I mean, oh wow, look at that. In 3 moves, I got 4 exclams. But I did know that beforehand. So it was out of this Philidor. I was expecting G6, honestly, for most Pierce players. But I guess it's a sort of Philidor player that wants to play like a Black Lion. But with f takes e5, I think it's much more effective than having d takes e5. Like, here's what I was expecting, and then to play my little Grand Prix setup. But they played e5, and then they took it right away, which is ambitious. d4. So, okay, if d5, I can push or capture. Just trade everything, bishop d3, we can get out of there, and probably shouldn't have too much trouble getting the pawn. c4. So, in the game, knight h5, and now here you got to give me the pawn. You got to just let me have it here. In which case, I just have a really nice center. But yeah, g5 gives me this little sequence, which was really nice. That is a really nice sequence. Take. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing black can do here. They got to capture, check and eat it. And then here we're just much better. And we even had the fork, and I think this was all actually really clean, easy technique. Nice and easy. Knight takes d6 was possible, so it was just bishop e2. So I allowed that, but it was totally fine. I ate the h5 pawn, so I put my pawn on h4, keep it on the same color here. Traded everything, pushed our pawn, and won. Okay, we didn't even flag that game. Back to work. Next game, we are playing a CM in the next round of Title Tuesday with the Bushcast Gambit from India. Would you like my pawn, sir? How about now? It has been hanging almost every single move of this game. Just for you. Gambit time. Yes! Let's go! Let's go. Alright, not that this is objectively good at all. Matt Bader super chatted $10. Thank you so much. I'll read that message soon, but really appreciate it. Okay, bishop f4 is a good move because it takes away the diagonal I was going to try to use. So that's a little frustrating. Let's go bishop g4. I feel like that's where we're going. No f3 yet because d4 has not been played, so we have that pin. If d4 was played, then I would use that diagonal. Alright, my idea here was rook e8. Let's just play logical moves. It's a blitz game, and look to the e2 square. Alright, what about knight c3 trying to keep me out of e2? Well, so glad you asked. I am looking at bishop b4, trying to play d4 and win the knight. I'm also looking at immediate d4, knight a4, rook e2. How good is rook e2, do you ask? Well, I don't know. It's potentially overrated. It's potentially overrated. I mean, it seems good. I like this move, though, honestly. Just keeping it real with y'all. d4 and 84. Queen d3, take, bishop e2. That seems like fun vibes to me. It's also, like, the bishop here is just so bad. That's, like, the only compensation I have in this line, is that the bishop here is bad. because of these pawns. So they play there, right? But it's like, I go here, you don't have b4. That was the point I was going to make. You don't have b4. So your queen, you've played, like, really logical moves. Like bishop f4 and ac3. You just got out of the way. It was the only way you could. But now somehow this is really difficult for you to not lose a knight. Okay, that move made sense, right? Because now your point is you could play d4, covering knight e4. So, yeah, that move made a lot of sense. Okay. So if d4 is the next move, how can I take advantage of that? If I check, that just helps you, right? d4 immediately take. I feel like that actually opens your rook in an annoying way. Yeah. Why don't I have anything smart here? It stands to reason that they played so logically, so there would be something in the position available to them. Yeah, I mean, I can't even recapture here because, like, bishop f7 and, like, bishop c7. d64. What if c5? c5 has got to be it. That actually is annoying. Okay. That's how we're going to play. Just back. d4 comes and we push c5. Took me too long to come up with this idea. But the point is I'm trying to play d4. Otherwise, take it and use this diagonal that's now open. So you played f3. You covered a lot. It's true. And you took away this. But I was trying to hit you. So, okay. And you played a3. So c4 is ineffective. Well, let's... I'll capture, bishop e6. Is that annoying? Here's a new idea. Put the queen on h4. I think more logical was probably trade bishop b6 and push, but I just didn't feel like I had much there. Bishop a4. But what if I go here? Well, you have bishop g5. Wait, it's not actually checkmate yet. I need... Okay, wait, I need this resource. I need to, like, take and bishop b6. So you can't really take here because, like, I eat something. Take bishop b6, queen d5. Yeah, that's hanging. So I want bishop b6. Okay, I'm looking towards this king now. I'm trying to cover that square and come here and g3 checkmate. That's my big idea. I think I'm being pretty obvious about it, but I don't know. Stop me then. So queen h4, g3. Oh, really? What about this? Oh, this is hanging. Right. Whoops. Wait. Okay, wait. New idea. You take and queen d2. Making something up. Now we want this. It's too slow though. Rook here is coming, right? Need something now. I need to run you out of squares. Wait, maybe I can. Here. Queen g4 here. Queen g5 here. That's a really funny idea. What happens on bishop b3? What happens on bishop b3? Ah, bishop b3 though. This move then. Bishop b3 is killing me. Silver d1. Didn't have time for this because of rook d1 and I was going to lose the knight, I think. Oh, wait, yeah. Also forgot about that. I can block it. There's rook c1 here. Ooh. They did a good job defending this. I don't know why I thought that was still good. Ah. Bad start to Title Tuesday today for your boy. Oh well. How do I calculate so quickly in the endgame? Is it just practice, studying a million theoretical endgame? Are there any endgame courses I recommend? I don't think it's so different from middle game skills, is what I would tell you honestly. So like, yeah, I mean, like the position I was playing last game, there were still like lots of pieces on the board. This wasn't like a theoretical rook and pawn endgame or something. I mean, yes, I've played a lot of them, and I've gone over them, and I've looked at ideas, certainly, and so that I'm applying to my own games, based off of going over my own games and looking at other ones. But I think, like, honestly, like, grinding puzzles is a great way to get better, because puzzles, you know, once you reach a certain, especially once you reach a certain point in puzzles, they get not like, oh, just a pretty little combination, but you actually have to get it right, and it's much more applicable to your games. Of just like, here are these little combinations, A, that you can integrate into bigger ideas, and B, that are not so like puzzly, that are not so like aesthetic, but it's like, here's what you got to do to win the game, you know? So I think that's really helpful. Endgame courses that I recommend. Chessmood always puts out really great content. Chessmood.com. I used that for my own journey. Those guys really, really care about what they put out. Really high quality, high value stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the internet. You know, it's the internet. Some of it's going to be great. Some of it's not. But, yeah. I think, as far as specific ones I'd go with, I think they do a really great job explaining things, the GMs there. Especially for our level. Okay, I'm curious here. Knight h5 was better. This was a really good move by my opponent. This is the only move in the position for white. Oh, it's kind of crazy here. This was kind of a logical way to proceed, but I didn't really like it. Or rook c8. Just normal stuff, improving another piece. And for this... Somehow I didn't see that, like, the bishop would hang in this line. This seemed appealing. Alas, it looks like I can run the queen out of squares to defend here, like queen g5 and bishop d8. But they have check, and now I have to step either here or here, in which case one of these is going to be check, and then they can cover g2 the next turn. So, that's a problem. That is a problem. Bishop b3. So, yeah, the line doesn't really work as a result. No, I mean, they did it well. Yeah, knight h5 was a little crazy. Knight h5 was a little crazy. Bishop a4, good move here. So it looks not so obvious, because, like, the bishop retreats. Now, all of a sudden, I have, like, queen h4 and this idea. Even then, like, this wasn't a good idea. Oh, well. Alright, we're going to start playing better. I feel like I've just been playing a little crazy. We've just been going crazy. To go a little less crazy. Yeah, by Vedic Gregorian. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Blundering on purpose versus Jobava is making people bang the table. It works. Awesome. I love to hear that. What do I think of the Elephant Gambit? The Elephant is fun. And I was considering putting out a video on the Elephant for a while. I do just kind of think that, though, you know, if white just knows kind of the main line here with queen e2 and d3 and then giving that pawn. Like, I think you're talking about this line with, like, bishop b4 and castles, and then you got to give the other pawn. It's like here, takes here, queen e2, f6, d3, check, castles, like rook e8 you could play here, like bishop g5 or knight d2, or something like this, right? I do think, like, in general, white with decent play should be fine. You know, like, you have some practical chances here, for sure. But I didn't think this was anything so crazy worth putting a video out. And I think most white players know what to do here or can infer it anyway. They're kind of forced into it. Like, any knight move, I think, is really obviously bad. Like, you just play queen takes d5 and are much better. And, like, here, I think this is all pretty logical to do if you're playing white. So I was trying to make something here work for a while, but I don't think anything here really does. That's so good for black. But, I mean, I think it's fun. Yeah, by Vedic Gregorian. Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. Alright, we got a break after round 4, but we got the next one coming up. What's up, Rukon? I don't know if you guys saw, by the way, but if you watched CBS on Sunday night and the segment 60 Minutes, they did a whole thing on chess boxing featuring your boy. I did my one-on-one interview with Bill Whitaker, the one and only, at the CBS headquarters here in New York. And they came with us to Serbia for the World Championship. And I'm kind of quite featured in it. So it was really cool to watch myself on TV. And my latest post on Instagram is a collab post with 60 Minutes and with chess.com. So that's really cool for me. Thank you, thank you. I'm on TV. Love 60 Minutes. I mean, I was watching that all the time growing up. I'm Bill Whitaker. I'm Leslie Stahl. Tick, 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 tick. Alright, we're playing RR Master. He's got a really long name. Portugal? Yeah, what a call. Alright, next round of Tail Tuesday. Let's go. Look at that name. Rodrigo Martins dos Santos Ribeiro. Nice. Hope he comes to the game. Do I think I will go back for the next championship? I do. I do. We got unfinished business over there. Back to all reliable. Back to all reliable against the Sicilian. We give up the bishop pair. Bishop pair. I no longer have it. However, we've got a development advantage. Their position is blank. And the fun thing we can do here with d4, you know, our knight gets kicked at some moment, is actually recapture by queen. Why can we recapture by queen now? Well, they're missing the one piece that would make queen takes d4 stupid. Otherwise, she just eyes the whole board and can't really be hit. Okay. I'm looking at long... a4 is interesting here, because b4 is not possible. So it obligates like pawn takes. But I'm just going to go like here. Maybe. I feel like now it's kind of hard to develop this whole side of the board. Let's see what they're trying to do. d5, a4 is possible again. Rook takes swing across. e5 is possible. Knight d5 is interesting. I mean, queen c2 is just immediately losing. Here takes. Okay, let's go with this. Knight d5. Maybe a4 first. I should have baited them into castling there. I mean, like they were not safe at all. But okay, they have to give this, I think. I don't see how they keep this. Queen c2, rook c1, and you lose immediately. So they have to... I don't know where you go. Otherwise, my knight can opt to b6, so if you go to the wrong square, or I can just kind of support a knight c7. So you take it. Do I go queen or pawn? That's what I probably should have been thinking about. Queen, rook c8, castles. Does it just give an e6 tempo? Maybe. Pawn gives the c2 pawn. But then short castle, we got good comp. I think this is the most interesting, honestly. I like my queen here. Go ahead. I like my queen here. I like how hard it makes it to develop. Which way to castle? Castle long, c8, c3. I guess queen c5 is coming, right? Alright. Take my pawn. But I think this is the move they're looking for. Otherwise, I mean, I really want that. C5. Can I dodge it somehow? Check, but it'd be 7. I mean, that's going to be unpleasant for them, right? I could just come mark D1. So this is good. This is kind of exactly what I wanted. Making it hard for them to castle. My rooks will just come easy in the middle. My king is no problem. D6, do I just lose the pawn immediately? Probably. What if I take that? I don't want to take it and help them. So let's capture then and rook D1. I guess they play knight D5. Knight D5, I play rook E1. And I try to take the knight. D5, rook E1, bishop E7. Take queen E7. They're probably fine. I can't take that knight in that line. I mean, let's see. I had some other ideas, like bishop E3. But okay, I'm trying to take this knight. Bishop E7. Take it. So, what was I saying here? Queen moves somewhere to try to attack the knight. Then they just go to F6. They're just going to F6 and they're okay. Here. I actually did block this, but I'm looking for something. It's not smart. This it didn't get anywhere. C6 here. I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't just castle. Oh, well, actually, there is one reason. Take queen d5. I won't even pretend that I saw that. But that works and wins a pawn. Wow, I'm smart. I think they had to allow that, right? Knight f6. Actually, this was the best move. This was the best move. We got him. Because queen e6 is check, so they're not able to, like, counterattack. So that was a clean pawn. Very clean, very clean. Let's go c3, f3. So I can't attack these things. Maybe they're coming here. This was maybe a good... No, it doesn't force anything. Queen d6. There's logic to it. I guess rook g6 is what they would want to play. Rook g6, queen d7. Try to dodge it. Oh, they want it. Okay. Here in f4. they have rook g4. Now they're pinned. Now they're definitely pinned. That's some pawn takes. Okay. My plan was just to come all the way here with the king. And just try to eat all these. But yeah, because king d6, they checked me. But okay, I could have just dirty flagged them, I guess. But we were winning. We were up 2 pawns in the endgame. Oh, well, good game. Thanks for all the excellent content. Thank you. What's up, Melt Like Butter? Hainsey? John? Ever played Witty Alien? Yes, I played him in last week's Title Tuesday, actually. I played him last week's Title Tuesday. And this was not a good move at all. Wow. Best move by far was a4. So there's no b4 here. It's actually saying e6 and maybe even just allow for that trade to happen, which is a little weird. Here and just like castle and like look what I've done. Maybe rook a4 was possible. Here wasn't good because of pawn f6. Weird move. Alright, I got forked here. Now e5 and now they figure things out. Okay, weird. Alright, next game. Title Tuesday. CM from what country is that? Uzbekistan. I knew that. Let's get a Grafe Banko on the board. Let's go. We've tricked them into a Banko Gambit with knight takes b5. We've tricked them. Alright. Let's continue with our theory here with e6. e6 spicy line. Of course, the main move in this position is g6 in an actual Banko. But yeah, we've tricked them with a knight takes. Knight d6 is not a good move. If you trade everything, then knight e4 is dangerous for white. Looks good with your queen on d6 for a second, and then knight e4 drives you away. Bishop f4 also not possible. Check forces the knight right back. So we're just going to try to run them over in the middle of the board here with these pawns. Yeah, e3 is correct. They just have to do that. And we're going to try to do this. This is like an interesting idea because I'm trying to like... Oh no, it's not really possible. Okay, let's play this with... Well, do we want here or here? Let's choose... Yeah, let's choose this knight d7. Because or else that bishop develops straight to b5. I imagine the knight will bring itself back to c3. But if it didn't, then there's no reason I shouldn't have put the knight on c6. But I want here, yeah, e5 and e4. Gambit glasses. Gambit glasses on. Let's go. Am I asking the knight to come to a good square and potentially bother me? This was a little strange. Maybe I should have just gone knight c6 like a normal person. Castles. They just go there. e4, knight g5. This is an interesting move, actually. It does force knight c3 back. Or no, they can castle. So e4, knight g5. I think I just play like knight b6, honestly. Bishop b2. I mean, I understand this to be their point. Bishop e7. against take f6. Alright, let's just go here first then. Alright, so 86 is still something I have to stop. Oh, you have queen takes d5? That's ridiculous. No, wait, they don't have it. Knight covers. Yeah, we're fine. I just need to drive you away. I need to cover the square. This was my concern before. Why did I think this was okay now? Yeah, wait, that's actually a big problem. What the heck? Yeah, this was a problem, wasn't it? Anyway, h6. Okay, I feel like I got away with one there. Yeah, okay. We got everything we wanted. I think this was concerning to me. I didn't know what I was going to do. Alright. Where do we go from here? I don't have d4 easily at all. Queen d7, bishop g4. This knight should get out the way. But a5 can come. Take. Yeah, that's obviously a good trade. I don't know why I even hesitated there. If I trade this light square bishop, that's great. My rook comes f3 and everything. This was correct. Needed to be defended. Alright, you can go. I think my knight will honestly stay on a8 just to be in the way. I think that's the most useful thing it could do, which is a useful thing. Okay. Let's get something going here. I wish I had the h6 square available to my rook. I don't. That's not available to my bishop either. So it's not so easy to make a good threat. d4, let's back up. d4 takes. It seems like it could be the start of something good. h5 take. Rook f2. That's an idea. Rook g2 trade. I don't see a follow-up though. I actually have to defend this. Honestly, no, but actually though, it's just easier. I don't want to deal with the bishop. I don't know, rook f7 was playable, but... Alright, we're playing h5, and we're going to go queen takes... No, h5 is here... Oh... Yeah, we're good. I wish I had this. d4 take... Could be something, e3... Okay, this was working, right? That's what I said? Oh no, now there's rook h3. That was the point of your move. Clever. So... Alright, let's just go here. No, rook h3 traps my queen. Okay, wait, so then I have to go here. Pressure there. g4 was not on the table. Yeah, this was gonna trap my queen, bro. So, now you want it again. What do I do? What? Do I have nothing here? Are you kidding? How do I have nothing against Rook H3? That's outrageous. Are you for real? What in the world? I don't even know. Ugh, this is so frustrating. How did this queen just randomly get trapped like that? Damn. No, today has been not a good day. That's really frustrating. Knight d7 was weird. Knight c6 was mean. This was really ambitious. I even got away with one, I feel like, because I was scared of this move. What am I missing here? Why does that not win a piece? I have this. They don't really follow. I guess that was kind of interesting. That is actually really interesting. I sack an exchange. Cut them off here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That actually would have been really nice. Okay. Alas. Yeah, this wasn't so bad for them at all. This is plus 1.3. It's actually really good. Wow, this whole position was really good for them. Who knew? Oh, they played really well, actually. They played really, really well. Shoot. Hey, chess boxing was a past event. It was, I assume you're referring to the World Championships, which were in Serbia in late September, about a month and a half ago. Alright, we gotta play better starting now. We're gonna play quicker. We're just gonna play good moves. We're just gonna play good moves and just outplay them. There's no reason we should be playing this badly. My opponent, FM from China, in the next round of Title Tuesday. Hong Tao Jin. Volkov Gambit. Tried and true. Most reliable weapon against titled players. Never fails to bring a smile to my face to make my opponent think on move 3. Let's go! Gambit glasses on. Volkov Gambit accepted in Title Tuesday. D3. Let's play the F5 line. Let's play the F5 line. This is a Stafford, and is also fun. But this move is unique to the one and only Volkov Gambit. Alright, we got a couple moves here. Let's play it with Knight F6. So the point of like this position is the Stafford, except like so. And in this position, the difference is that, like, well, you're playing bishop c5 next turn almost categorically, but we have f5. We haven't blocked our pawn yet. So it actually gives us a number of good options. Let's play castles. Rook and bishop seek to align there. So my opponent castles as well. And now let's take... Knight takes would be nice for me. I would actually be really happy to make that trade and then bring my queen to h4. So I think they should go pawn takes. And now I will play my queen to... Perhaps e8 is an interesting spot. Among a number of interesting ideas. But I like queen e8 because it targets this pawn. Queen e7 is most obvious. Of course, like, I could trade queens, but I have no interest in that. But I'm trying to use this. So f5 gives a number of possibilities. Ordinarily, like, the structure is really solid, and it's like f5 is a rare resource we have in the Stafford. Typically, the knight is blocking that pawn, but we were able to play it before in the Bush gas move order. Now with queen e8, we have a nice maneuver that's available to us with queen g6. We shouldn't drop our bishop here, though. We should not. Almost had me. Yeah, if queen e7, of course, that wouldn't have been possible. We would have had that protected. My opponent playing logical moves here. Very much so. Very much so. G3. I think we should go here to target the e4 pawn. But then they get an f3, don't they? Alright, I have to do this, though. Yeah, maybe now they got their structure a little more solid. I guess f3... Well, what I would do... Maybe queen h5. Well, they could play f4 at any moment, sort of. It's not so easy for them. H5, let's... Well, so f4, I'm going to play bishop g4, right? I think they've played really well, and I think they are just kind of up a pawn. But we're going to try to make something happen here. Bishop d6, if they play f4, I will use the g4 square. So we're attacking h2. I'm not sure a3 was the best, because that seemed like something I wanted to do. e5 is their idea. Did I just blunder? Bishop g4, e5. Here. Can we make something happen? Take rook takes. Just go crazy here. Just go crazy. Seems fun. I'm sure with best play this is probably not great for black. But who's to say what best play is? Take... I think that's the biggest problem. Like, take f4, now you have to take g7. They take that one. But now e2 hangs, right? Well, queen c4 only move. I had some ideas. So if I trade, then knight g4, h3, probably fine for them. This is the move, then. Also, rook e8. Attacks a lot of stuff. But okay, wait. Here, right? I just grab it? Because you can't take g4. I have knight g4. And now your queen and king are hanging. So, yeah. Well, let me get that. You have this at the end? What if I go knight h5? Knight e2. e8. You have bishop c5. And rook d5? It's kind of interesting. We can keep the complications going here. So bishop c5 immediately is a no-go. Right, rook e8. Bishop c5, rook d5. Oh, no, wait, they have rook f3 and king f2. What am I talking about? They just go like that. Oh, wow, they missed that too. They have rook f3 here and king f2. I missed that. Knight f6, h3. Wait, actually, no. I'm not sure that they were able to do that. And they bring my knight to d5. Now I'm still attacking stuff. This has been a wild ride. This has been a wild ride. Somehow we're hanging in, but we are down a pawn. Hence the Gambit glass is still on. Okay, back rank. So for f2, I take and take. They wanted that, though. If I trade a knight f4... could also repeat this. Okay. I mean, I have no winning chances in that endgame. Alright. That was a wild one. That was a wild one. I think I was lucky to escape with a draw. I think I got lucky here. It was fun to go for it. Yeah, I mean, they played the best move here. Queen d3. Really nice to spot queen c4 check. Much more useful was bishop e6. And, like, supporting rook d8. Okay, that's actually good to know. If I face this again, king h8. Here. This should have ended badly. This should have ended really badly. But we really got away with one here. They had a few ways to win. One was this, which is clever. This was a little less obvious. Knight f6 hitting, threatening check. Not h3, but this. How does that work? Oh, because there's rook e1 at the end of that line. Okay. Well, I probably should have lost this game for a number of reasons. Even in this position, this is +1. There's a number of ways they can continue the game, actually. Okay. We got a little lucky there, because they played really well in the opening to parry the advantage. Yeah, bishop h5 was weird, but there was just bishop c5 here was the point. So then I wanted to make things complicated with knight h5, so there's no bishop c5 because the rook is hanging, but it does leave this hanging. But I was trying to like win it back, but I shouldn't really be winning it back. I mean, this is the clearest. This is the clearest, and there's a fork. That's the clearest. Oh, okay. Let's go get him. I think Entitled Tuesday I need to chill a little bit with like the crazy open, with like just the pure craziness. Just need to tone it down a little bit. Just kind of start playing good chess. Which we can do. What we got here? Hikaru is leading with 7 out of 7. Magnus with only 5.5. Who'd he lose to? Playing National Master Tyrell Harriott, whom I know. Good luck, sir. Let's play a Von Popule Gambit. Let's go. Gambit glasses on the board. Knight d7. So, not bishop f5, but when you jam the bishop in, I will go to f3, and just my knight takes f3 attacks. Plays c6. So the point is e5. Alright, I gotta take this pawn. Alright, I mean, I trade and I take here. Queen a5. Interesting. Interesting. Let's go. Well, now e5 is coming. So I think I should play e5 myself, honestly. Oh, or you can... Oh, no, knight e5, I have bishop f6. Let's go here so I don't have to deal with this. Because I had a queen d2, but I didn't like what was happening after this. So knight e4... Yeah, I do allow this move. I have either bishop d2 or knight f3. Knight f3, knight c3, queen d2. Alright, let's just come back. So they got my dark square bishop. Life goes on. I like this structure, right? c5, I have d5 as an answer. Could trade the queens if I wanted. I've got a lot of ideas here, actually. This is even one of them. Alright, let's just come over king b1. I think this is something interesting to me. I assume they want to go long. Like, I feel like if you go short here, I'm just going to torch you. 94, it's a nice endgame, it's pretty, but not what I wanted. There's nothing there. d5 takes. Yeah, but I was trying to stop castling, honestly. Can I? What's happening here? I don't know, rook sacks? Trying to stop castling. Bishop b4, I just have knight e4, now I have a2 defended. Well, actually there is knight d5 in that position, so that is maybe not smart. Okay, but they play knight d5 immediately. I have to take it. Okay. Let's come after them a little bit if we can't. Well, I guess f6 if you're going that way anyway, right? I don't know what I was really thinking. Oh, goes that way. Oh, wait. Now the world is my oyster. Really? Okay, bishop d3, h6. There's bishop b5. I mean, h6 I'm playing h4, obviously, right? Alright, let's come after him. Let's come after him. I think they would take it. h6, no, the best move is knight h7. Because with an h7, then I can play an f6 check. Ooh. Maybe, yeah, yeah. I mean, h7, I have all these resources. They should definitely take this. Maybe I should have played h4, honestly, to make sure this wasn't going to happen, and I had h takes g5. Oh, I don't think that was smart. Actually, I also have check and... No, I'm lying. Let's go to h7, though. Okay, let's say rook c8. But then I bring a rook to f1. Well, I have knight f6 take. If I take it, bishop f8, I hang on. Should go here. Oh, let's go with the other rook as well. Okay, bishop e8. Knight f6 take. What's the play there? Queen h6. f5, rook f5, that could work, but do I just have something easier? 6, take, bishop f8. Honestly, queen g4 and then just bring both rooks around is very possible. Queen h6, f5, sacrifice. It's not really necessary. Like, a lot of things win. Let's just play rook f3. I think knight f6 was playable there. g4, g5 also. Let's take away bishop g5. Oh man, I gotta move much faster. I think I had check and just... Oh, that was winning. What am I doing? Okay. How do I win? This or rook h3 and take even. Rook g7 is not working. I mean, they have nothing. They just have to wait for me to do my things. Now I'm threatening take and rook g8. We could trade queens and rook h3. And that's mate. Haha. I think we got him. Yeah, because f5 and king h7, you can't play them at once. And otherwise we mate along here. Wow. We have to be careful there to actually find checkmate. Obviously, we built up an attack with overwhelming resources, but that was the point there. That was the point. We didn't have to strike right away. We didn't have to strike right away. We just added more and more and more resources. That was a GG. That was a good game. That was fun. That was fun. All right. So what happened here? So they took my pawn. We had their Gambit glasses on. Knight d7. We went for f3. And he played this very interesting move, c6. Very interesting move because he didn't actually accept my Gambit. Where I do this, I go for just knight takes f3 once you've jammed in the bishop, right? So the point of the Volkov heel is if you've played bishop f5 right now, now I actually play queen takes f3. The only point being I actually have a double attack. But I'm waiting for you either to like do something like that or e6, you know, protect, jam in that bishop. And now if I'm able to just take this whole diagonal, I have a really, really fun attack here with queen 1, queen h4, attacking h7 here, and all that fun stuff, trying to take this knight and take the on h7. If I have the diagonal and the bishop still on c8. But my opponent plays an interesting move, c6, looking for maybe a resource like e5. I think here takes... Oh, they need to spot this move, queen a5, which is crazy. So the point being that that bishop is hanging. Because otherwise, yeah, this endgame doesn't look so appealing for black, but I guess they're fine. King runs here, and you have bishop d6, so you're fine. Okay, in the game, my opponent plays this interesting move, queen a5. Looks pretty good, because like I have to do something like queen d2 to parry the pin and protect my bishop, and now e5 makes like a lot more sense, kind of transposes to the other line. And this is really annoying. I mean, the dark square bishop has now a number of resources. But I have this move e5 to stop it. So knight e4, they're able to grab that bishop, But I have the pawn here, so I don't have to deal with e5. They actually have to play e6 here, and they do jam in this bishop in the end. Okay, what happens here? Knight f3, bishop e7. Probably more ambitious to put it on b4. Castles, and they play knight b6. I slide my king over to b1, bishop to d7. And now this nice move, queen to f4, which is the start of their problems. They thought they were probably going to be okay with something like castles long, next move c5. You know, then maybe they free their bishop pair, pressure here and all that. But queen f4 throws a wrench in those plans, attacking f7. And after knight d5, we trade, and well, I don't want them to castle. I don't want them to castle. I play knight g5 here, but yeah, I note during the game f6 is a good move. f6 is a good move because it looks like it makes the king unsafe, but there's no reason why it should be unsafe if it's able to castle, right? Their problem was the pressure on f7, and castling short here I don't think is a great decision because I really liked my attack. It's fine if you're able to achieve bishop b5 and trade their much worse bishop for this one, but they weren't able to achieve that in the game because I go bishop d3, and yeah, as I said in the game, they had to take this knight. They had to take this knight. This knight was very dangerous, and now bishop b5, and I cannot dodge this trade, so they're hanging in there. They are hanging in there, and I just have a better position. But I'm not checkmating them or anything. h6 allows knight h7, which is a really, really nice move. Rook comes to c8, but they have no attack. They have nothing here they were able to do to my king. I played that useful move king b1 earlier in the game. Let's check here. Yeah, we're good. I played that useful move king b1 earlier in the game. There was no actual pressure on a2 here, and for the rest of the game here, black has nothing. For the rest of the game, black has nothing, and we just keep improving our pieces. I look for the knockout blow. Like, right now, knight f6 check is playable. Or actually, I don't know. Was it check? Oh, it was. Everything's winning. Everything's winning. To be clear, everything's winning. So, takes f5. Is it rook f5 or g4 here? Oh, anything's winning. The pieces are just so good. The pieces are so good. The king is so torn open, and the bishops are here blocking its escape. So lots of different things win. Okay, rook f3 though. I don't know. There's no reason I had to risk anything. So queen d8 covering more against knight f6. Maybe trying to prepare bishop g5. I don't even allow bishop g5. Engine's still recommending it, even though it's like still really quite losing. King h8. I don't know what to recommend. For black. Rook h3 here, preparing rook takes h6 is recommended by the engine. Rook f1 was also a good move. Rook c7, sort of just like trying to make useful moves-ish. So knight f6 here is winning because... this during the game. I don't know why I thought I had to come around. Yeah, I just take it one more time, and rook takes h6 is going to be checkmate. So that's very similar to what happened in the game. I did it a really weird way, but it actually just kind of shows how amazing my position really is, and how completely tied down black is, and now they just have no resources whatsoever, because like they're trying to play rook c8 something here. Everything's winning. Rook takes g7 is winning. Knight f6 is winning. I play rook g4, a6, so preparing maybe a bishop b5, finally doing something, but here now I play knight to f6, and finally I do something. Everything was winning. This attacking g7, rook h3, preparing rook takes h6, or even the immediate rook takes g7 sacrifice, likewise winning here with knight to f6 to follow, and checks and mates on g8. But I play your knight f6, and I got 2 exclams for it. It's a really fun move, because what I want to play... Oh, we got a break after that round, right? What I want to play is, like, let's say bishop b5. Well, not bishop b5, but let's say, what I want to play if I got another move was queen takes h6. Takes and rook to g8. Checkmate. That's my threat. That's my threat. If bishop to b5, yeah, I mean, I'm probably playing rook h3 and just taking here, right? So bishop takes d3 doesn't really change that. We're able to just checkmate right there. The bishop's there to control. And again, takes here. Yeah, I mean, I can even play queen takes looking for queen h8 if you dodge that. So lots and lots of different checkmating ideas here. Takes f6 is what happened in the game. And now with this pawn having too much pressure with h6 there. So like, let's say g5. This is even a really nice checkmate, actually. Among many checkmates, this is one of the cuter ones. Okay, in the game, they took on f6, and I just traded queens, which is everything they wanted. Alas, I had rook h3 here. Yeah, it's so weird that I didn't realize that rook takes f6 was also unstoppable. I guess maybe I intuited that, like, h5, but, like, of course you can come under. It's so weird that I thought I had to go here to go here to go here, when in reality I could have done it in, like, 3 fewer moves by just capturing on f6 and just coming there. But anyway, rook h3 was the move I needed, and my opponent resigns with checkmate in 1. GG, National Master Tyrell Harriet. Subscribe. Play the play the Von Popule Gambit. That's the second time I mix those up. Thank you guys. I also played Bushcast Gambit after watching the videos. Yeah, maybe I'll hit up Woody Alien. I think I actually did message him on Discord. I haven't heard back. the screen is cut off. Did I ever make some viral video? The Bushcast Gambit original video, perhaps. There's also Jules Gambit, no relation. Posted this video of me teaching en passant a woman on her TikTok. I think that got a lot of views. National Master Otis Wilson, another American. All right. Good luck. Title Tuesday, Banko Gambit. Grafe Banko Gambit. A6 to play C5 next turn. It always trips him up. Knight F3 here. So he doesn't want to go into the Banko. It's a delayed Banko and forces kind of the Zaitsev variation. What I recommend here is trade in D5 in my video on the 2A6 repertoire. 2A6. Tricky stuff. Tricky stuff. And in fact, yeah. Now if like E3, there's ideas of me trying to take there and play B5, hitting the bishop, and then putting my bishop on B7. Also, furthermore, I will just probably play E5. Take the center, nice space, nice squares for my pieces. If you trade. Yeah, the pawn on A6 looks very useful. I mean, in all those lines here, say E5 in that position after we trade. There's no knight B5, which would otherwise be annoying. And we just trade queens. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Position here, yeah, really comfortable for black. Why didn't that pre-move? This is the exact position I was talking about. Where there's no knight B5. The bishop would have defended it from the queen, but it's not available. This position I give in my video, actually. This endgame here, knight C6. There's no bishop B5. So pawn's doing a great job. And always good to be the one to capture when you trade queens. Forcing a king takes. Alright, now we just have like a quiet little endgame. Let's see what we got. Let's go here. Actually, bishop G4 immediately. Right, because if H3, I'll hit him with a castle long. Hit him with a castle long. Check. And then probably just back up. Well, actually, it's not so obvious what you're doing about that check. I mean, this is a problem. B3, I'm not sure was the best. I think you have to work on your king positioning first. Okay, so I have E4. Alright, long castle. A long castle check, always fun. Ooh. Alright, I guess B2 is what you wanted for your king. Wait, am I winning? You don't have knight D4, that's check. You have to play knight G1. Only move. I mean, the game's not over. It's not pleasant, but it's not over. All right. H1. Check. That has to be correct. My opponent's been having a tough time here. What about knight d3? Or I trade a knight d3. Do I want that? And then I could go pawn fishing. But rook f1, and what I want is this. Really? So, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna really, really want. If you wanna be my lover. I mean, on principle, I shouldn't really accept trades. But, okay, let's play knight d3. You know, like here, rook takes. We've been really making it hard for them. Remember this endgame? All their pieces are back here. How did that happen? They've made no progress from this. They've made the opposite of progress from this position when we entered the endgame. I started with my piece on the back rank. This should have been even development. But you never really found a spot for your king. That's actually really funny. And what I want to do is just put a bishop here. I mean, I'm going to play this. So my bishop stays on g4. I didn't even play pawn takes d3 and give them even one developing move. What I wanted here was actually bishop e7. So hg4, bishop f6, king b1, and like rook d1. I think that's actually so brutal. Let's say king c2, rook d8, bishop e2, I have rook d2 check. Yeah, this is killer. I'm not even giving them knight e2. For the record, like here, that would have been fine. Okay, they are chomping at the bit for an opportunity to do anything. Alas, here, king c2, rook d8, bishop e2. Yeah, man, they're just torched. They still can't move any pieces. They cannot move any pieces, bro. This is insane. Because king c2, I go here. And bishop e2, this is checkmate. That's what I was saying there. That's what I was saying when I was calculating this move. No, but, I mean, h6, g4 was not the reason they lost. Like, what do you even play? Literally, what do you play? Okay, they go here, trying to give this knight, like, something. Free one piece. Move one piece. Okay. But this is dead? This is so brutal. Okay, now they're trying to move it. I think I'll just go rook c8 and just trade this. I mean, I could go rook takes g2. Dude. They tried. They tried to free themselves. Alas. Alas. Oh my goodness. What a tough game. What a tough game for my opponent. I feel bad. That was brutal. They couldn't move anything. I mean, they did, but they lost material. They didn't have an alternative. I mean, I'm just thinking here, like, what do you do if you're not, like, king here? So that you can go... No, you get, like, checkmated, dude? What? I don't know. Yeah, I have bishop d1 check. I have nothing to recommend for you. Your pieces are like that. It's crazy. No, but what happened was they played b3, which looks like such a harmless move. Like the bishop, oh, it's not coming out that way. It should come out that way. I think what they need to do here, what they really need to do is e4. They really needed oops. They really needed here e4. They really needed e4. Because now you don't have the same problems as before at all. The bishop just comes out like normal. E4, and then you could just put your king on like a normal square. Yeah, I think they never found a spot for their king. Maybe like here, but you got to work on the king position ASAP. You got to work on king position ASAP when you enter an endgame like this. But b3, I went here, threatening e4. They're just running their clock down. Bro, they're running their clock all the way down. They rage quit. I made my opponent rage quit Entitled Tuesday? Entitled Tuesday, a cash event. Among just titled players, my opponent rage quits. Resigns with 0.4 seconds to go. How much time did they have going into that move? He would like to chat. Okay, what do you got? Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant to resign. I was watching the stream. My stream? Okay. He goes, oh no, I'm sorry, I meant to resign. I was watching the stream. I go, really? He goes, well, yeah, all right, all good. He goes, I saw that you were streaming and went to the channel. Okay, well, hi, my opponent, Mr. Otis Wilson Mouse Slip. All right. It's a good thing you told me that because I was going to report you for rage quitting. But all good. I won't. But yeah, this was an interesting game. If you're still here, let's check it out. Because a6 on the second move is really tricky. So the knight c3 is typically what happens. I mean, if they do something else, we can play for like e6, d5, and try to go d takes c4 and b5, right? So for example, let's say e3 here, d5. I'm trying to take this pawn, especially if you move the bishop once. I'm trying to make you move it again. And now, oops, b5 is the point. Or if you don't take my pawn, I will just try to hold this together. And bishop to b7 here. This is what I'm playing for, and this is nice. So my opponent in the game plays knight c3, c5. There is this interesting move, d takes c5, but very, very rare does it ever make sense. But it's the only move that makes a6 useless. It's the only line that makes a6 useless as we try to get our pawn back. I cover this line as well. d5 being the main move here, just the main response to c5s in general, in Benoni's and Banko Gambits, etc. But here the Banko becomes very difficult to decline, trying to play b4 to really bother this knight. And this is the Zaitsev variation of the Banko. You can play it with g6, bishop g7, or you can also play it with this move. I recommend e6, which leads to some really spicy lines and a lot of ways for white to go wrong. d6 is a mistake. Takes knight d6 check is also a mistake. We can trade an a4. This is all covered on my channel in the main a6 stuff. In the game here, my opponent plays knight to f3, which is an option, but takes, and it looks like that looks really good. a6 looks very useless here. White should have a better center and be up on development, especially if the next move they could play, like, let's say I just go here, e4. Here they got, like, a really pretty Maroczy structure, and they should be better e4 or like g3, bishop g2. But I strike here immediately with d5, and so it's not obvious how to respond. Okay, well, let's check that out later. Alright, next game of Title Tuesday. We're playing a CM with a 2719 rating from Poland. Gambit. Let's go. My best Title Tuesday score is 7 out of 11. Or maybe 7.5. Yeah, I think I got 7.5 ones. It's on YouTube. Gambit on the board. We can play this line instead of the... Ooh. I guess check bishop e6, knight d4. It's kind of interesting. Because I can only take one of these pawns. I could go takes and eat this. But I don't really want to accept your gambits. I kind of wanted to do my own thing. What I'm going to do, honestly, is take on e6 and then not take another pawn. I'll just play, like, bishop g5 there. It's like, okay, now you just have weaknesses, not compensation. Right, so, like, I could grab it. It's just... No, I can't. I absolutely cannot. I would lose my queen immediately. Okay, good thing we spotted that one. Let's go knight d2 or something like that. Alright, now they got some weaknesses. Let's play against some weak pawns. What you got here? Where are you going? Where are you going? I don't want to help them, but I do want to get rid of that bishop. Let's just play it with like a simple knight e4. F3. Let's go knight e4. Alright, I'm happy I got those knights off the board. Just playing solid chess here, and I want to pick apart those weaknesses once I've got my position together a little bit. For example, maybe c5 there is probably a problem. Probably a problem. It's kind of annoying my bishop has no good spot. I mean, that would have been ideal. Difficult to set it up. Let's just play f3 then. F3, I mean, actually, it might have invited some other problems. Okay, a2. So let's go c4. Well, now I invite queen h5. I like this move. Really nice and solid position. Yeah, my point here is maybe to play f4. It's just, maybe this is a weakness. It's fine though. Yeah, that was to be expected. Nice and solid here. It would be easier to have this here. Alas. Rook e6, bishop f4, rook e8 check. I mean, probably just this move, right? Just try to take it. Like, lots of things to attack, but the more I trade, the easier this would become. Bishop c5. Yeah, I think this is fine. King g2, queen d5, and what was I gonna say? Just like queen f3 or queen e4. Rook e6, queen d5. Takes rook e6. And we are up our pawn. Nicely done. Solid structure held together here. To go up a pawn in the endgame, let's continue good technique here. So let's go here. Right, so this is the only file I can use, but my king should parry it. Keeping it together. Oh, bishop b6 is maybe really annoying actually, because then my rook could get trapped. I was only looking at bishop d6. Here, here. This is what we want, probably, actually. King 3, keeping it out of 2. There's that check. I guess there is rook e2. Try to come here as d4 check. We could try to checkmate them. No, I can't actually. And just take and come back. Why didn't I just go here like a normal person? Why didn't I just do that? Oh, I just lost. Oh my goodness, I have to step on the D line. That was really stupid. That was extraordinarily stupid. That was extraordinarily stupid. Why didn't I just go king e4? That's great. Like, here. What? Why did I go here? Just king e4 and I win this pawn. I think I'm winning a lot of pawns here. No, this would have been nice. Ugh. There's just no reason I should have lost that game, man. actually really well played. Great structure, all that good stuff. Clean, clean, clean pawn here. This was like a dumb idea. Yeah, why not just this? Like what are you doing? What's the problem here? Takes here. Yeah, it's actually not so easy because I have check. Here, then I guess I get out. Yeah, I thought king d7 was really problematic. But now, like, I've put my bishop here, and now they're getting in. Whereas, there's no reason that I should have let them in. So I gave them a chance. And this was crazy, king e5. And eating this pawn, or key2 was dumb. Yeah, so, I mean, anything else in it's to draw. Or it's triple zeros, at least. But, yeah, this was a nice move. They make me step on the D line and block my rook. Alright, alas. Alas. Okay. I wanted to continue analyzing this game. So cd4, knight d4 happened in the game, and now d5. Not obvious what to do in this game, because if you play e3 here, now I play e5. And I can take kind of a lot of the center here, knight f3, e4. And this is pretty nice for black, knight d4. I probably just take this or something. Takes here, bishop d6. Again, we're making use of the fact that I have this move a6 in. My bishop can go there, and we can operate down these diagonals towards the king. In the game, pawn takes d5, knight takes d5. And if you played something like e4 here, I was going to take it. e5, maybe next move queen c7, and target some weaknesses. Again, the game trade, just e3, e5, and here we're already a little bit better entering this endgame. And yeah, I mentioned here e4 might have been a better option for white, or something like bishop d3 or bishop c4. This probably makes the most sense to just play king e2 and bring the rooks, and white shouldn't be too much worse here, honestly. But b3 made things very difficult, because now I just start going after him. Bishop to g4, threatening a4, e4 here. What you have to realize is a3, really tough move, so that the king can come to c2 without this problem. The point being, here you're actually okay and not dropping a piece, but not that it's pleasant, and a3 doesn't make any sense for a human. Bishop e2 does, but now we go castles check. Not obvious what to do. King c2 was a mistake, so knight d2 had to be played, apparently. Trying to make this trade. Of course, king takes e2 solves a few of white's problems, but I would just kind of dodge that, and yeah, they're still struggling to move their pieces here. But better than what was happened in the game, which was this, and now e4, and now with the bishop unprotected, this is even worse. Knight d4, this is check, and you're losing that. So they had to play here knight to g1, which is very unpleasant. You don't have the h3 resource because this is hanging. Let's talk more about that later. Playing a WIM from Greece. Yeah. The next round, Trail Tuesday. Ekaterini Pavlidou. I am 1-0 against her. Alright, last time we played this, we got a knight takes b5 in the game. Let's just take it. And e2. Okay, let's go with c3. I could come back, because I got dc3 coming. But this is also interesting. Bishop a4, bishop c2. Because you know what I want to do? I really want to put my queen on d6. I think the problem here is maybe d3. Alright, yeah, let's just come back. I think a6 was a good move on their part. dc3, it's fine. This seems a little skeptical. Rather than... because I have f4, f5, or I can also put something on d6. I like to put something on d6. Seems to be pretty annoying. I think a good idea from here is f4, f5, actually. Well, no, that's really not true. Queen b6 check wins my bishop. Okay, take a b5. Is that what you wanted? I guess. I don't think that's what I wanted. I think we're just going to hang out here, make things difficult for you to castle and such. d6 not possible. So they want b4, of course. Should I come right back? Okay. Maybe I just want this pawn. So they're okay because they do have knight a5. So they're not actually losing the rook. But I'm up a pawn, sort of. Again, I can come back to the square. But let's go here instead. Well, bishop f8. Is that annoying? No, I'll play queen d4. It's fine. No actual knight b3 if I'm able to trade. So we're up a pawn here. Dark square bishop trade I think is good for me. Well, because I know knight b3 right away. Let's hit queen g7. I wanted to go f4. Let's trade. Alright, let's go here for now. I didn't want knight b3, that's why I traded this rook. Okay. I mean, I'll do it. Oh, was that? No, it wasn't. Alright, you're bringing it to c5. I don't know. Probably more logical to just play with your extra pawn instead of doing this, but it was an idea. That made more sense, yeah. Rook e3. Queen e3. Yeah, that's good. Knight coming there. Both captures were good. Knight coming to f6. Strong as well. Just cover it. Oh, now it's not. Oh my goodness. Shoot. And they got me with a smothered mate. They smother mate me. They smother mate me. Okay, I'll let them put on the board. Very nice, very nice, very nice. GG. GG. Alas, alas, alas. I thought I had that. What did I do wrong? Wow, my opponent got... Look at all these exclams and brilliance they got towards the end. Well, okay, it was really just because of the smother mate sequence. What did I do wrong here? This was... Ah! It's +3, bro. It's more than +3 if I just go anywhere else. If I just go, like, literally anywhere else and just don't hang queen e3. Imagine. Just don't hang queen e3. They've got this to worry about. They've got f7 to worry about. I don't know why I thought... Yeah, it takes, I mean, it defends f7. I just, like, wasn't really thinking. Or just, like, queen f4. It's kind of, like, the most straightforward way to play. I mean, it's not the engine's top choice, but it's, like, you're not going to lose this. I should keep queens on, is what it's saying. Even though you're 2 pawns up, and the endgame's probably winning anyway, keep the queens, because there's problems here. Just don't hang queen e3 and knight f2. That was like their one idea. That's like the one thing I could hang in this position, and I did. Alas. Thank you for the sub, or the follow-up link, guys. They got me there. Okay, well, continuing with the analysis in this game. Continuing with the analysis here. Okay, so I play your e4. Threatening to take. And yeah. Okay, I play your e4. And the problem is that anywhere this knight moves, it hangs the bishop. Unless they go to this very, very poor square on g1. And again, I'm not trying to help them by playing something like takes here and trading on e2, which would free them up a little bit. Instead, we go with knight b4 check and knight d3. So that's a problem for them. I'm going to take f2 and literally trap their rook because their development is that bad. Unless they take that knight. And now instead of making the capture on e2, they had to make the capture. And again, I don't even go pawn takes d3, giving them like one developing move. Rook takes d3. And now my pieces, this bishop is stopping the knight from developing, and this rook is stopping that bishop from developing. So hard to do anything. h3 makes a lot of sense. h3 makes a lot of sense because they're trying to play g4 to create knight e2, and if they can get knight e2, then maybe they can start freeing the rest of their pieces, just maybe. Here, though, we play a really, really nice move, and I got 2 more exclams for this. It is bishop to e7. It is just bishop to e7 because they can take my bishop. I mean, I don't know what else you could possibly do here, right? Like king c2 to get out of the way of this, but I was talking about that check on d1, and with bishop to f6 coming next, that's not fun for you at all. So they take my bishop, check, king to b1, trying to recapture there. But then before I even take the rook, I'm like, wait, let me play rook to d1. Let me play rook to d1, pinning everything on the back rank. King c2 to try to free anything does not work. You're still completely stuck in both directions. Bishop b2 gets you mated. So in the game here, they played rook h5, which is just something to free any piece. Makes sense. I take this knight, though. They go check to try to defend their bishop, so a4. Now trying to free their rook, so forcing me to take it. But, like, here, it's still an exchange. It's still just a really clean exchange as I force the trade of all that, and just clean up the rest of the pawns, and my opponent resigns. GG there. GG there. Okay. Well, that's the end of Title Tuesday. Wasn't my best Title Tuesday. Only 4.5 points. Alright, you're welcome for letting you put Smother Mate on the board. I know chess.com has another arena after this, which is... Oh, Untitled Tuesday. I don't think I'm allowed in. I thought they had something else. Yeah, Untitled Tuesday. Okay. Alright. Do I have a chess.com club? I do not. Leechess has weekly 3-0 right now. It's not true. Oh, the weekly Super Blitz. Okay. Actually, why don't we play that? Why don't we play that? Alright, let's close out a Proctor. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Okay, let's get Leechess up here. Okay. Is that gonna work? I think that's gonna work. Welcome in. Let's see here. Stream manager. Twitch. I try to edit. Let me actually end this stream here so that